Alright, what is up everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today we're going to be recapping last night's playoff quadruple header. We had some amazing games, some not so amazing games, a sweep. All about that we're going to talk here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. We live set a lot. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, getting closer and closer as days go on. So all support on the channel be very much appreciated. Links to my Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So we're going to go in order of the games like we usually do, starting with the Cavs and the Heat, Game 3. The Cavs end up dominating this game 124-87 to take a 3-0 series lead, 1-1 away from spraying out the brooms on the Miami Heat. Cavs, no Darius Garland in this game, but they still come out and take care of business. You know, it got off to a rough start. The first, I want to say 5-ish minutes of the game was very tough. Donovan Mitchell only had 1 point in the first quarter. It was like, oh man, tough. But then once the bench came in, the Cavs started lighting up. Jarrett Allen had 10 points in the first quarter. Max Strus hit a couple of threes. DeAndre Hunter off the bench hit a three. And then from the second quarter on, it was just absolute domination. I mean, he had a little bit of a run in the third quarter where they started to make things a little bit closer. Davion Mitchell hit a couple shots, some threes started to fall, and it was like, okay, maybe. But then near the end of the third, the Cavs once again went on a big run. And in the fourth quarter, they blew the game open, and the Cavs ended up winning by almost 40 points in this game. Yeah, great all-around performance. I mean, Jarrett Allen gave you 22 and 10. Evan Mobley gave you 19, 6 and 3, hit 2 threes. Max Strus hit 4 more threes with 9 rebounds and 5 assists. Donovan Mitchell, I mean, only had 13 points, 4 for 14 shooting. Not a great game from Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, when you can rely on Jarrett Allen, Mobley, Strus, and then the Virginia boys, DeAndre Hunter and Ty Jerome off the bench were absolutely phenomenal. They really determined this game. I mean, DeAndre Hunter, 21 points, 3 threes. He was a plus 34. Ty Jerome, 13 points, 11 assists with no turnovers, a plus 33. So those two really just dictated and dominated the whole game, with DeAndre Hunter being a shot maker, just being a bucket getter, bringing some extra offense with no Darius Garland, with Donovan Mitchell struggling. And then Ty Jerome as well, with just playmaking, scoring, doing all that stuff. Those two were really on it today. And yeah, Cavs 1-1 away. Dominant performance without your second or third best player. So yeah, great game for them. For Miami, struggle. I mean, Tyler Hero was 5 for 13. The bench didn't provide much at all for the Miami either. And yeah, just utter domination, really. I mean, could not really do anything to contain this Cavs offense. And now they're 1-1 away. There's not really much to say about this entire series. I mean, the Cavs have just been better than the Heat. And now they got one more game, take care of business, and now move on to the next one, I guess is what the goal is. Next game we had OKC Memphis, Game 4. Thunder win this game 117-115, and they are the first team to move on to the next round, bringing out the brooms and sweeping the Memphis Grizzlies. But credit to the Grizzlies, this was a good game. Honestly, I came after last game, after the blown lead. I came on here and I was like, I think Memphis is probably going to get blown out in Game 4, because I don't know how much fight you have left in the tank after losing by 30 at home and losing your star player. I just don't know how much you have. And they came out and fought. I mean, Scottie Pippen Jr. had another amazing game. Desmond Bane hit some shots. Santi Aldama hit some shots. The Thunder weren't super sharp, especially from three. They shot 20% from three in this game. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, we were saying the first 3 games, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander really struggled in the series, shooting like 30% from the field, something like that. It's been the others carrying them. This game had to be the opposite. This game had to be a Shai MVP type game, where he had to carry the others, because a lot of the others weren't really shooting the ball super well. Chet was 3 for 9. Lou Dort didn't make a shot or didn't make a field goal. Caruso was 1 for 4. Wallace 0 for 3. Wiggins 0 for 3 from 3. A tough shooting night for them. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander comes up big, 38, 5 and 6, 13 for 24 from the field. J-Dub also has another really good game, 23, 4 and 5. Hardenstein a really good game with 12 boards and 4 steals. Isaiah Joe hit a couple threes off the bench. And yeah, when it came out of the fourth quarter, the defensive masterclass I was put on again in the fourth quarter. And Shai really helping close this game out. Scottie Pippen Jr. gives you 30 and 11. But for the Grizzlies, honestly, just a lot of bad late game execution. I mean, Zach Edey fouling out, Scottie Pippen Jr. fouled out, Desmond Bane took some really interesting shots. Jaren Jackson did have a great game. The late game execution for this Grizzlies team was not great. Just a lot of weird possessions and fouls and just bad basketball in the last few minutes down the stretch, which allowed OKC to come back into this game and I'm getting the W. And yeah, now OKC can rest, move on. Their series, which we're going to talk about next, is 2-2. So now they can kind of sit back and chill and hope that those two teams keep beating up on each other and they go as long as possible so that OKC can get as much rest as possible. But yeah, just a dominant performance from OKC, which is again really amazing. But you consider your best player didn't really play well for 3 of the 4 games. They really relied on their defense. Their defense was just absolutely amazing. Put on really a clinic on the defensive end. Gotten some great production from J Dub, Chet, Hardenstein, Lou Dort, Caruso was amazing. Off in this series on defense. And yeah, then when your best player can carry you in game 4 and say, all right, now we can close it out. Just great stuff for OKC and Memphis. I already talked about them. I already did my video talking about the Grizzlies and what the next step is for them. You can go back and watch that. It's on the channel. But yeah, OKC, sweep them. Now we're gonna get to the good stuff. Next game, Nuggets Clippers, game 4 in LA. Clippers coming off destroying Denver in game 3, winning by 30. Nuggets come back in this one. Yeah, the Nuggets came out with a different energy and effort level, which I expected because that game 3 was just not Nuggets basketball, But Aaron Gordon came out really hot. MPJ hit a shot early, and it was like, oh man, Jokic, doing his thing, and the Clippers, just it was back and forth first half. The first half was very very close. I mean, first half was a 2-point game. We got the little scuffle near the end of the first half. Jokic came up with 15. Aaron Gordon was big in this game. Michael Porter Jr. was providing a lot of energy and good minutes. The Clippers bench was decent. Kawhi did struggle to shoot 4 for 11 in the first half. But Zubac was doing really good. And then we get to the third quarter. In the third quarter, Denver was absolutely amazing. 35 of 17. Jokic put up 16, 8, and 4 alone in the third. Michael Porter Jr. hit 2 threes. Christian Brown had 7 points. And just the intensity level, the defense was amazing. The Clippers shot 5 for 18 in the quarter, 1 for 6 and 3. James Harden only had 2 points. Kawhi had 6. I'm sorry, 5. Powell only had a couple free throws. Zubac had 4 points. The bench didn't do anything at all. And just the intensity level for the Nuggets stepped up a lot. Jokic was amazing. The Clippers just had no answer for anything. They went cold, which they have gone through in stretches, especially in game 1 and game 2. They had these kind of stretches where it was like just weird, play, couldn't really make shots, and the Nuggets really, really took advantage and took a big lead going into the fourth. But in the fourth quarter, things flip. The Clippers have a big run. Kawhi hit some shots. Norman Powell hit 3 huge 3-pointers. I don't know why my camera did that. But yeah, Kawhi hit 3 huge three. I mean, Norman Powell hit 3 huge 3-pointers. Zubac was once again amazing in the fourth quarter. And all of a sudden the Nuggets went cold. They went 1 for 9 from 3 in the quarter, 7 for 21. No one could really make a shot for Denver. Things were kind of getting out of hand. The Clippers were storming back. Last couple of possessions, Jokic just a tough, mid-range or a tough fadeaway jumper to give him a 2-point lead. Clippers come back. Harden gets to the rim, misses, but Zubac there to tap it in. And then the final possession, Jokic puts up a crazy 3 that maybe looks like a pass now to Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon's in the perfect spot, catches the ball, dunks it in as time expires. The Nuggets get a crazy win and tie the series up 2 games apiece. Jokic, what an amazing game. 36, 21, and 8. 14 for 25. This is the type of game we expect from Jokic. I mean, after, game 2, he had some kind of weird errors near the end of the game to lose. Game 3 coming out and them getting dominated. We expected this was a must win for the Nuggets. Down 2-1 on the road with the Clippers having so much momentum after 2 really good wins. This felt like this was a must win. The season was on the line for Denver in this game. And Jokic came out to play, but also he got some help. I mean, Michael Porter Jr., despite having the shoulder injury, still had a pretty solid game. 17 points, hit 4 threes. Aaron Gordon was really good in this game as well. 14, 6, and 5 with the game-winning shot as well. And yeah, I mean, the Nuggets defense also came to play. Nuggets defense I think was very good. The intensity and the effort from the Nuggets was really, really good. And they just made the winning plays when it mattered the most. After having the big third quarter, the fourth quarter where things were kind of going awry, gave the ball to your best player and let him work. And then Aaron Gordon with that amazing play near the end of the game to win it. But yeah, a great win for the Nuggets. Great win for the Nuggets. In a game where they probably had no business. I mean, when the bench only gave him 4 points, Jamal Murray had his worst game of the series so far with 5 for 17 shooting, but he did have 7 rebounds and 7 assists, so he was making plays for others. Christian Brown was 1 for 7 from 3. It was just like, Norman Powell gave you 22. Like, it just felt like everything if you look at this box score, you would think the Clippers would win this game. But thanks to Jokic, thanks to the big third quarter, and thanks to Aaron Gordon, the Nuggets survive another one. For the Clippers, a very tough loss. I mean, you come out in that third quarter and kind of struggle stumble through that quarter. Then in the fourth quarter, you find a way to come back, take a lead, all that to lead to not boxing out Aaron Gordon. No one being on Aaron Gordon and him dunking it to save the game. But yeah, Kawhi, tough game for Kawhi. 10 for 22, probably similar to game one, Kawhi, where his shots just weren't as sharp. Harden had a really tough game. He had 11 assists, but he only took 11 shots. I would like him to be more aggressive. Zubac had a great game, though. 19, 12, and 6, 9 for 14. He was awesome in this game. And then you got 4 threes and 22 points from Norman Powell. You probably should want to capitalize on Zubac and Powell having these great games. But besides that, didn't really get much else. Bogdanovich finally had a decent game. He was a plus 22 in this one, hit 7 points. Chris Dunn was 1 for 6 from 3. He was a minus 12. It was tough for him. And then Nick Batum 1 for 6. Ben Simmons only played 6 minutes. It was just a tough game from the others, really, where the Clippers should have the big advantage with the others from the Nuggets. They didn't really have that big of advantage in this game, and that's what led to the Nuggets being able to come in and win this one. But yeah, a back and forth match is what we expected, and that's just what we're getting. We've gotten 3 really amazing games so far in this series, in game 1, game 2, and game 4. We've gotten some amazing games, some big performances, and this is what we wanted. This is an impressive win for the Nuggets. Really impressive win. Again, on the road, just got blown out by 30, down 2-1, where you feel like in this game, if the Clippers win this one, it's over. They're up 3-1. The Nuggets just put on an excellent performance, came out with all the effort, and this is what you have to do when you're a team like this. When you're down, back against the wall, you have the best player in the world. It helps out a lot too. But just another amazing game for them. 2-2 series now. And now we're going to a game 5 that's going to hopefully be another amazing one, man. I cannot wait for that game. And the final game we had, Warriors-Rockets, game 3. The Warriors get a huge W. Win this one at home, 104-93. Take a 2-1 series lead. To win this game without Jimmy Butler was huge. The Rockets came out in the first half. Didn't look amazing, but the Warriors just didn't look any better. This looked remnant to the early season Warriors. Like when the January Warriors, where it was just Steph by himself, and Steph was getting all the attention, and no one cared about anybody else on the team. It was like, as long as Steph doesn't do anything, we're good. We don't care. And it was a really tough first half to watch for the Warriors. I thought the Rockets were kind of going to take care of business a little bit. Then we get to the second half, the third quarter. That's where things start to change a little bit. Steph has a huge quarter with 12 points. He gets some help from Kuminga hitting a couple shots. And the defense, Rockets only took 4 threes. They're 1 for 4 from 3. Only got 1 free throw attempt. Golden State won the offensive rebounding battle by 1, but they still won the battle, And that's where things really started to take a turn. The Warriors got more comfortable. The role players started playing better. The defense stepped up a whole lot. And in the fourth quarter, the Warriors break the game open. Put up 35 in the fourth quarter. Gary Payton was amazing. 11 points, 5 for 5, hit a 3, plus 8 in the quarter. Buddy Hield also hit a big 3-pointer as well in this game. Draymond really took over with his defense, and then Steph gave you 9 points. And for the Rockets, it was a tough quarter. Fred VanVleet 1 for 4. Jalen Green didn't score in the fourth quarter. Amen was 1 for 5. Şengün 1 for 4. When your top 4 players combined to shoot what? They combined to shoot 3 for 15 and 1 for 5 from 3 in the fourth quarter. They were all negatives. It was really tough. The defense, once again, for the Warriors was great, but this is what we say about this Rockets team, where it comes to late game situation, it comes to the fourth quarter, half-court offense, they're not as good as some other teams. And that's why, before the series even started, during my prediction, I picked the Warriors in 7, because I thought when it comes to situations like this, where it gets down to a late game scenario in the fourth quarter, I trust the Rockets more than I trust the Warriors. And that's been the case so far. We're in game 1, where the Rockets had that big comeback in the fourth quarter and all that stuff. Jimmy and Steph put it away. Game 2, the Rockets blew the doors open, so they didn't have to get in that situation. This game, where Rockets have a good lead, the Warriors come back, even without Jimmy Butler. The Warriors just have been in these situations so many times before over the past few years. They know how to handle it, and they got help from the role players and Gary Payton, Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, Draymond, and then Steph being a star to take them home. And that's been the difference in the series so far. Steph gives you 36, 7, and 9. An amazing game from him. 17 for Buddy Hield, 16 for Gary Payton. Quinn Post had 12 boards. Draymond had a typical Draymond stat line, 7, 8, and 4, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Podziemski gives you 10. Just a really good game from Golden State. Out a system 26-19. Won the turnover battle, forced 15 turnovers. in this game as well, which is not something that happens often for the Warriors. So a great game from them, a huge win. So again, without Jimmy Butler, and especially looking after you look at that first half, to be able to come back and win this one, up 2-1. Now you get a little bit more comfortable at home as well. Just a huge, huge W for the Rockets. This is a tough loss. I mean, they don't have Jimmy. Um, you know, they don't have Jimmy Butler. You got to take advantage. Got to take advantage of them not having him. And Fred VanVleet still has not been able to shoot the ball super well. He did have 17. He was the game-leading scorer for the Rockets, but tough for him. Jalen Green falling back into, that streakiness we talk about, where game 1, he was horrible. Game 2, he was the best player in the court. In game 3, he's gone back to horrible. 4 for 11, 1 for 5, didn't get a free throw attempt, 9 points, negative 14. Just a really tough game from him. And then, Amen, another tough shoot night, 5 for 16. Şengün was 7 for 18, 1 for 6 from the free throw line as well. Which is tough. He's got good contribution on the bench. I mean, Jabari Smith gave you 12 points. Tari hit a 3. He had 2 blocks, gave you 8 points. Steven Adams had 4 offensive rebounds, doing what he has to do. But yeah, when you get some tough performances from your starters, Jalen Green not coming to play in this one at all as well. It's really tough to win, and this Rockets team, again, when it comes down to late game, fourth quarter execution, I can't trust them as much as I trust the Warriors, because you get performances like this where Jalen Green has single-digit points. The Rockets are not going to win a game in the playoffs where Jalen Green does not have double-figure points. It just can't happen. They're not going to win a game where they miss 10 free throws. Not going to happen. They shoot 39, under 40% from the field, under 40% from 3. 15 turnovers. Lose the assist battle by 7. You're just not going to win a game, not going to win a playoff game like that. And that's just inexperience. That's just inexperience, really, is what that is. But good thing is, it's only 2-1. You have another game. Hopefully, they got to come back with that same fight they had at game 2 and game 4. And maybe they could tie the series up. But for the Warriors, this was such a very impressive, very, very, crucial win for Golden State to be able to get this win without Jimmy. We don't know what his status is going to be for the rest of the series. If he comes back game 4, if he doesn't, who knows? But for them to be able to have the confidence of being like, all right, we can win a game without Jimmy Butler in this series and in this playoffs, that's huge. That's a huge confidence booster for them. And yeah, that's gonna be it today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, stick around here for all of your playoff fix. We talk about every playoff game that we possibly can on this channel. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turning on notifications, doing all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it a whole lot. Once again, around the road to 1,000 subscribers. So support around the channel, be very much appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.